better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Kill me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need good things, then we're sensible. If you be the sleep, it's not self for wake by you dream. Now we face reality, because this year not to film. See one talk say I dirty, and you young dirty first for clean. You know want for work like a slave, but you want for it like a king. Hey, Salomon, to make ready made. How you go get work, but you no land trade. You no land book, you no get talent, and you aid. But you want for sleep, now as a bed. You know they study, but you want pass. You dey get way where you comprehend a class. Open yes, and listen to me fast. You go fever like you dey see step per class. Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Kill me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Then we need do things, then we're sensible. A small thing happen so, una begin for point finger. You keep your young a box for the person in young, you pull on a window. Then they begin blame Timini, then lock up begin blame Limba. Before black they blame them juice, well then juice bag go blame ginger. We kiss a bit for identify the problem, but we not kiss a bit find the solution. You wait fat, you fat, now you back one gumble, but here pollution. As they give you money for shade, you go shape small, now the rest you go put some. Politician demo, citizen demo, we all now don't mix bad collusion. Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Kill me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Then we need good things, then we're sensible. If you don't know how we come on, let me know who's how we they go. If you don't work for money, how you expect now for make it flow? If you don't want the plant rest, how you want for make it go? If in the Bible tell you say, you go reap what you sow. All tell you what makes salon do for you, but say you don't do for salon. You dey throw away dirty in the street, na the country where you dey bluff say now you don't. You still dey invest your money overseas, but you dey talk say no place like.
Sierra Leone is a country on the southwest coast of West Africa. Its neighbors are Liberia to the southeast and Guinea to the northeast. Sierra Leone has a total area of 71,740 square kilometers and a population of over 7.1 million inhabitants as of 2021. The capital and largest city is Freetown. The country is divided into 5 administrative regions which are subdivided into 16 districts. Sierra Leone is a Muslim-majority country, at approximately 78%, though with an influential Christian minority, at about 21%. Muslims and Christians interact very well in the country and religious violence is extremely rare. Sierra Leone takes its name from the Lion Mountains near Freetown. Archaeological finds show that Sierra Leone has been inhabited continuously for at least 2,500 years, populated successively by societies who migrated from other parts of Africa. The country achieved independence from the United Kingdom on April 27, 1961, and Milton Margai became the country's first prime minister. The population of Sierra Leone in the 1800s was unique and composed of displaced Africans who were brought to the colony after the British abolition of the slave trade in 1807. Today, about 2% of the country's population are Creole, descendants of freed African American and West Indian slaves. As of 2021, Sierra Leone has an estimated population of over 7.1 million and a growth rate of 3% each year. The country's population is mostly young, with an estimated 41.7% under 15. 16 ethnic groups inhabit Sierra Leone, the 2 largest and most influential being the Temne and Men people. English is the official language of Sierra Leone, however, Creole is the most widely spoken language in virtually all parts of the country. Spoken by over 90% of the country's population, Creole unites all the different ethnic groups in Sierra Leone, especially in their trade and interaction with each other. Sierra Leone is regarded as one of the most religiously tolerant countries in the world. Muslims and Christians collaborate and interact with each other peacefully, and religious violence is very rare in the country. The country is home to the Sierra Leone Interreligious Council, which is made up of both Christian and Muslim religious leaders to promote peace and tolerance throughout the country. Sierra Leone is a Muslim-majority country, however, all of its heads of states have been Christians, except Ahmad Tejan Kaba, who was a Muslim.
It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Henley. First came the Stone Age, when life was for the strong of arm or the fleet of foot. Then there was the Iron Age, and while life was more precious, still the strong lorded it over the weak. Later came the Golden Age, and riches took the place of strength. But the poor found little choice between the slave drivers' whips of olden days and the grim weapons of poverty and starvation. Now we are entering a new age, the mental age, when every man can be his own master, when poverty and circumstance no longer hold power and the lowliest creature in the land can win a place side by side with the highest.
Care about empathy, all man just care about his own. Salon for better, salon for grow, now who that responsible? If salon for better, salon for grow, now who that responsible? Kill me responsible, all are you responsible? Everybody say, now we all responsible. Every day do things, them responsible.
How many of we as Sierra Leoneans go proud say we get national ID card? Instead all day, we first forget them card. We prefer for pay tax na other man country, but we can as alone when we own, when they say pay tax, in free space like who that big bang bang. Life for be an example, you want for talk but other person we own. Now we all responsible, yeah? Me, you, and Papa government. Innocent fella Kuti. Political Banika 2017. I got Lee on the beat.
Sierra Leone is a country on the southwest coast of West Africa. Its neighbors are Liberia to the southeast and Guinea to the northeast. Sierra Leone has a total area of 71,740 square kilometers and a population of over 7.1 million inhabitants as of 2021. The capital and largest city is Freetown. The country is divided into 5 administrative regions which are subdivided into 16 districts. Sierra Leone is a Muslim-majority country, at approximately 78%, though with an influential Christian minority, at about 21%. Muslims and Christians interact very well in the country and religious violence is extremely rare. Sierra Leone takes its name from the Lion Mountains near Freetown. Archaeological finds show that Sierra Leone has been inhabited continuously for at least 2,500 years, populated successively by societies who migrated from other parts of Africa. The country achieved independence from the United Kingdom on April 27, 1961, and Milton Margai became the country's first prime minister. The population of Sierra Leone in the 1800s was unique and composed of displaced Africans who were brought to the colony after the British abolition of the slave trade in 1807. Today, about 2% of the country's population are Creole, descendants of freed African American and West Indian slaves. As of 2021, Sierra Leone has an estimated population of over 7.1 million and a growth rate of 3% each year. The country's population is mostly young, with an estimated 41.7% under 15. 16 ethnic groups inhabit Sierra Leone, the 2 largest and most influential being the Temne and Men people. English is the official language of Sierra Leone, however, Creole is the most widely spoken language in virtually all parts of the country. Spoken by over 90% of the country's population, Creole unites all the different ethnic groups in Sierra Leone, especially in their trade and interaction with each other. Sierra Leone is regarded as one of the most religiously tolerant countries in the world. Muslims and Christians collaborate and interact with each other peacefully, and religious violence is very rare in the country. The country is home to the Sierra Leone Interreligious Council, which is made up of both Christian and Muslim religious leaders to promote peace and tolerance throughout the country. Sierra Leone is a Muslim-majority country, however, all of its heads of states have been Christians, except Ahmad Tejan Kaba, who was a Muslim.
Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Kill me responsible, I say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need good things, then we're sensible.
If you be the sleep, this not self for wake by you dream. Now face reality, because this year not so fame. See what talk say I dirty, and you young dirty first you for clean. You know want for work like a slave, but you want for it like a king. Eh, Salomon, to make ready made. How you go get work, but you no land trade. You no land book, you no get talent, now you need. But you want for sleep, now as a bed. You know they study, but you want pass. You dey get way when you come in a class. Hope you yes, and listen to me fast. You go fever like you dey see yourself for glass.
Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Kill me responsible, I say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need do things, then we're sensible.
And small thing happen so, una begin for point finger. You keep you young, a box for the person in young. You pull on a window, then they begin blame Timini. Then lock up, begin blame Limba. Before black they blame then juice. Well then juice back go blame ginger. We can sabi for identify the problem, but we not can sabi find the solution. You wait fat, you fat, now you back one gumble, but here pollution. As they give you money for shape, you go shape small. Not the rest, you go put some. Politician demo, citizen demo. We all now don't mix fat collusion.
Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Kill me responsible, I say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need good things, then we're sensible. If you don't know how we come on, let me know it's how we dey go. If you don't work for money, how you expect now for make it flow? If you don't want the plant rest, how you want for make it go? If in the Bible tell you say, you go reap what you sow. All tell me what makes salon do for you, but you don't do for salon. You dey throw away dirty in the street, na the country, or you dey bluff say na you don't. You still dey invest your money overseas, but you dey talk say no place like home. All man just care about empathy, all man just care about his own. Salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? If salon for better, salon for crow, now who da responsible? Kill me responsible, I say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need do things, then we're sensible.
How many of we as Sierra Leoneans go proud say we get national ID card? Instead all day, we fed forget them card. We prefer for pay tax na other man country, but we can as alone when we own. When they say pay tax, we increase space like who that give bangba. Life for be an example. You want for talk about other person in you. Now we all responsible, yeah? Me, you, and Papa government. Innocent fella Kuti. Political Banika 2017. I got Lee on the beat.
Now who that responsible? Kill me responsible. Say, oh, now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need good things, then we're sensible.
If you be the sleep, it's not self for wake by you dream. Now face reality, because this year not so film. See one talk say I dirty, and you young dirty first you for clean. You know want for work like a slave, but you want for eat like a king. Eh, Salomon, to like ready made. How you go get work, but you no land trade. You no land book, you no get talent, and you need. But you want for sleep, now as a bed. You know they study, but you want pass. You dey get way where you come in a class. Open ears, and listen to me fast. You go fever like you dey see step per class.
Salon for better, salon for crow. Now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow. Now who that responsible? Kill me responsible. Say, oh, now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need do things, then we're sensible.
A small thing happen so, una begin for point finger. You keep your young a box for the bossing in young. You pull on a window. Then they begin blame Timini. Then lock up begin blame Limba. Before black they blame then juice. Well then juice back go blame ginger. We can sabi for identify the problem, but we no can sabi find the solution. You wait fat to fat, now you back one gumble but he a pollution. As they give you money for shade, you go shape small. On the rest you go put some. Politician demo, citizen demo. We all now on the fat pollution.
Salon for better, salon for crow. Now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow. Now who that responsible? Kill me responsible. Say, oh, now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need good things, then we're sensible. If you don't know how we come on, let me know this how we they go. If you don't work for money, how you expect now for make it flow? If you don't want the plant, yes, how you want for make it go? If in the Bible tell you say, you go reap what you sow. All tell you what makes alone before you, but you don't do for alone. You dey throw it dirty in the street, na the country, where you dey talk say now you don't. You still dey invest your money overseas, but you dey talk say no place like home. All man just care but empathy, all man just care but his own. Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? If salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Kill me responsible. Say, oh, now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we need to think and we're sensible.
How many of we as Sierra Leoneans go proud say we get national ID card? Instead all day, we just forget green card. We prefer for pay tax na other man country, but we can as alone when we own. When they say pay tax, we increase space like put that in bank bar. Life for be an example. You want for talk about other person we own. Now we all responsible, yeah? Me, you, and Papa government. Innocent fella Kuti, political banny car 2017. I got Lee on the pitch.
Very potential of mind, really, we get steam, we get platform. Look how we come. We see them, they misuse research. All man, they make me. Are we really a serious people? Do we have the correct attitudes to development? This is what I'm going to talk about today. And this is not politics, it's above politics. The destiny of a nation is above politics. The politicians are just there to serve and control the destiny of the nation. The destiny of the nation, now the responsibility of all the citizens. And from now, by the grace of God, inshallah, we go tell the people them the truth. We go tell the politicians the truth. We go tell the intellectual class, the one who feel say they educate, the truth. Let we all know what's in our problem by God in power. Today, I want we look at what they call attitude. I make a title this talk say, as attitude is all that matters. Every government from 1961, from Pa Milton Intem to Sir Albert Magai, to Pa Sheki, to Momo, to NPRC, to the short interregnum we'll get with the present head of state, Madabio, to even the second term of Kaba, after the FRC interregnum, they all try to address the issue of attitude. Wakaba in the first time in go na radio and television, he talk say, na badat now problem. Input in that broad Creole way. But what he be mean is we need the correct attitudes. Sierra Leone not get political problem. Some of we not grow up for sabi what thing called tribalism. I grow up for know every Sierra Leonean as brother and sister. The first side I go understand say tribalism they exist na university. When I go Jala University in 1975. At the time I begin hearing but Mende, Timini, Kono, then get all kind association. Western Area Student Association, Kono Descendants Association, Gambia Descendants Association. Yeah, it's not bad forget the association. Yes, everybody gets a right for claim an identity and and some origin. But let we identity and origin not destroy we. And as a matter of fact, the identity we they fight for is wrong. Is wrong because Sierra Leone, Guinea, Liberia get a common identity. This is the third time I'm saying it. We get a common identity. Now you get similar surnames in all the three countries here. Kamara, Koroma, Sise, Conte, Bangura, Dumbuya, Kanu, these are Kalon, Jakite. Call the names and then you go Guinea, they meet them. You go Liberia, they meet them. You can Salon, they meet them. And in Sierra Leone, we get people them where they talk Mende, then they talk Timni, then they talk Loko, then they talk Jalunka, they name Conte, they name Bangura, they name Sise, they name Tarawali or Traore, they name Kalon. So, let me ask, what is really wrong with we who are not able to see the simple facts here? And if I attempt to answer the question, I think say now we attitudes. Now in wrong. I not care for talk book. Because when we talk about attitudes, what do we mean? If I can go small per book. Attitude, now your behavior, where they come out from you, where they show how you think about other people, how you relate with other people, and who that you feel say you be. For put on that simple way. All this Allah, sonko, onga, get in a salon. And because we get the wrong attitudes. And Usa it come out. It come out a long time ago. I dey do research. I dey always say I'm in my programs. I dey do research. Because I want to write a book we go unite Sierra Leone. I don't want to be head of state in Sierra Leone, but I want to see a united Sierra Leone. I can take the permanent position of foot of state, no matter. If foot not the aid not the worker. I am not going into politics in Sierra Leone. I don't want to be a politician in Sierra Leone, but I want to see a united Sierra Leone because I am informed about issues on Sierra Leone we make at a look the whole dynamics of what's in the happen now, and they ask certain questions. And these questions, they point to two people, the intellectual class and the political class. Every country, the one that we get knowledge, now then they drive the country forward. Now then they make the country. Because now they know God, what they call God, not a physical form. God, now an existence in the form of energy, when at the highest level of intellect. God is absolute knowledge. Now I make the religious books until we say, man was made in the image and likeness of God. And man was given free will because the energy of God is in each of us. That's not the Bible says so. The Quran tell we say, after God don't make that shape from clay, he breathed in life into him. Then he command Satan for worship we. Why you not think say God command Satan for worship we? Because God knows say, after him, now we get the power for think. Now we get the power for make. Now we get the power for puel. But God, the first democrat in existence is God. He give we free will. He say, una go, una decide for una self how una want do. So if we get people in a Sierra Leone where they claim say they're educated, if we all the pass and talk say Sierra Leone are the Athens of West Africa, let we ask how much of that education don't benefit we if we look we country today. And one thing we want to get at the back of our mind, not so almost us, almost road, almost this we build, almost jet plane we ride. Babu, you can put tuxedo coat panam, you get a bow tie. And still Babu because they think Babu. Oh no, they billows, they do this. Yes, you are doing it. But to what benefit? Who benefits? Si bono. Are we really serious people? Are we mentally organized? It's time we begin to ask certain questions. And it's time we begin to face certain realities. Because a lot of the things that happen in Sierra Leone today is shameful. Anybody who get average intelligence, anybody who get ethics, anybody who get morals, if you hear all what in the happen in Sierra Leone today, you ask yourself, say, what is wrong with us? Why are we behaving this way? What is it that we cannot do so that everybody will have a good life? I want to let you know one thing. Minus the minerals and everything where Salon gets. Salon gets a geographical location where if we not get minerals, if we use that geographical location, we provide with human resources, the people them. And when I say the people them, the one that were able for work and produce something. It's unfortunate I'm not able to draw the chart for put up today. But as far as my research go, and the 7 or 8 million or 9 million people who say we get na Sierra Leone, about 5 million, they between age 0 and 45. That means we get a very young population. And it means, say, if we get the correct attitude, we able for come up with a way where everybody where they within that age group go able learn a skill. When I say skill, I don't mean for go get PhD. Yeah, PhD can be a skill. It's a soft skill. But industry not they take PhD. Industry no need masters. Industry no need bachelors. If they ask for them paper, then they serve. Then they ask for them with specific reference to certain skills. Have a PhD in auto mechanics. Have a PhD or whatever equivalent qualification in electrification, in machine turning, in carpentry, in building and architecture. This is what we need. Almost of them people, they will get in a salon. Everybody, doctor, 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 doctor. What can these doctors do? Nothing. They are just there to talk book, talk theory, we give them job. The best they can do, sign paper, write projects, and when they're not able to produce for make the economy grow, they're not able to pay a better wage. The next year they do now for thief. The type of education we'll get now responsible for the corruption in Sierra Leone. And what make we still get that type of education 60 years after independence? Now we attitudes. We get the wrong attitudes. And what make we get the wrong attitudes? We get the wrong belief. We believe say, where man talk like chef ya pig, tie necktie. I am a graduate of the University of Cambridge. I make a mortal man. If we don't change that, we are heading for disaster. There are solutions, simple solutions, not a book. Not a book, simple solutions. Then they look at what here they show now. Sierra Leone is on the curve of the Atlantic. At an equidistant point, Usayu they reach all the major cities on the Atlantic region within 8 hours by air and within 16 days by sea. That is if you get a slow boat. If you get a fast boat, you're able to do it in 14 days. Then we get the biggest natural harbor in Africa and the third largest natural harbor in the world. With population between 55 and 70%, they're young. Even the one that don't left school, we're able to find a way for fast track training, let them get skills. And when we do that, what thing will happen to Sierra Leone? That's the question we have never asked, because we intellectual class not concerned about Sierra Leone. Then concerned about almost then get for putting in them pockets. Yeah, you begin pass and talk, say, I don't build tennis. Yeah, you don't build tennis. Well, I'll look at all those though, then they build in Sierra Leone now. Honestly, we voluntarily they imprison we self in Sierra Leone. Because if man billows, he put high fence, he put metal na window, metal na domot, metal all side, because he feels say people and they way bad, we get for county fan and net, we not true, then he don't imprison himself. But now we ask, what he make we get criminals in Sierra Leone? What he make we get rapists in Sierra Leone? What he make we get all the bad people in Sierra Leone? We come back to the point. We attitudes. We not care about each other. Everybody they go get a paper for can make ego. Ego, me. Yesterday, then gets graduation. Everybody was showing off. But how many of these people are going to get a job? All the people they all graduate, so how much they get a job? Does our education provide for everybody for get a job? Countries them we take technical and vocational education serious. Everybody who they done senior secondary don't qualify and they get a job because technical and vocational education now they provide the human resource we industry need. We all allow investors now they go to Sierra Leone. Yes, they will never go there. The only investors will they go to Sierra Leone. Now the one they go for go extract. If you not go mine, if they go cut timber, or you go plant per mine, where you not need much technical labor, you export them for can make other things them. The real investment for make we get industries for turn we iron ore, smelt them, make iron ingots and things like that. The real industry for turn that brown dirty into aluminium. The real industry for cut with diamonds and make jewelries like them here. We not get them skill then they. And nobody, no they come out Europe, go open the industry there, for take people in Europe for go do that job there to we. Because when you take somebody from Europe, you they pay them the wage or then they pay them in country, they get for put back allowance pan tap. So the man not get for make profit. The body not they go there. Then they go Malaysia, then they go Indonesia, then they go Thailand, China. Now skills make them develop. The term where people let me say China na iron cotton, Mao Zedong and others we been come after them, they be busy to provide technical skills for the population. When they don't get these skills, now they open up. They make certain areas export processing. Foreign investors come with the money and the machine. Today China don't turn world power. China they go to win now. And they control it. So they been they laugh for them 1970s because they all been they wear uniform. They tell them go build building, then build stadium, then build Maba sugar, then build Dodo Madam na Kenema. A uniform they all been they wear. Go then build police building all. We been they laugh for them. They like today, they don't turn boss. And that happened between 1970 and now. What do we they do within them period? They God no like we, God partial. No. We attitudes. And I don't care whether people like it or not. From now on, some of us are going to say it the hard way. Not for us, but for God and country. Let we try. Let we change our attitudes. Let we try. Let we begin think out of the box. Because most of what we believe in, most of what we think say we sabi wrong. I don't think they hold we back. Now make we not develop. Every government don't come, they don't try. And I will tell you now for free, every government will don't come, even the present one, then they try for do things, but they are doing it wrongly. They are doing it wrongly because that scientist, Albert Einstein, even pull a parable, say, you're not able to solve a problem if you use the same thinking and the same method will cause the problem. That's exactly what we do. What do they do in a salon? And we're not able to solve the problems. Now they bring hate. Now they bring division. Now they bring all the things that they divide with. We get for trial, especially we will go school, we go university. We get a moral responsibility to that country. Some of we not gladdy, oh, they're out here because we not feel say we able to sit down in a salon. Because some of we, the way they think and the way they talk, some man go think say, this man, and then one poilia, then go for go kill me. That's why I don't go to Sierra Leone. I have a comfortable life where I'm living. I came to this country in 2003. Today, I tell God thank you. Because I use my head and I get the correct attitude. I not thief public money. I don't serve 2 terms in this country as municipal councillor. And I ever go near outside the money business. There no one know not to make business. I did what I had to do. And by 2018, I told them I cannot continue because I want to get time now for myself. La plan myself. La do my own business. And I no want forget any problem, any complication between politics and what I want to do. That's why I went out. In Sierra Leone, people think politics is the place to go and make money. Yes, you make money in politics. But you don't make it while you're in office. You make it after. If you get good record, you get good sababu, people who don't respect you, they don't trust you, they will come to you. They will provide you with resources. If you are smart enough, you begin to make money. You make money. If you say you want to make it during the office time, well, be prepared for all the scandals and everything. And again, go ask. Some of them money are where we want. What in really we need them for? We all need a comfortable life. We all will get a comfortable life if we be fair with ourselves. But if one person one cap all for make the other and they not get, then comfort no good day for anybody. Because that man will not get, it a turn criminal. And when it turn criminal, it harass you. Now he make today, people in the billows, they imprison themselves. Yeah, now they all them go put snap at them by road or other prison. But una self they that prison like them. So now all equal. They not get freedom, una not get freedom. So why we not go do the right thing? Why we not go try to create a society where everybody go get a skill or a way for building talent so that he able to support himself. He not get for go lay belly to nobody. Yes, pa, you bobo de. If we don't make salona for make them. When you sit down, you say for sit down, nobody know they can beg 1 cent to you. Then you're able to live within your means. But because we know they make out for make them, now you make right now. The minute you say you're a politician, you don't turn welfare officer. And now the other reason that we make corruption, no, they don't. Because anyhow you get money, anyhow them pay you, people are always they come. I mean, get one of me in law them when I be MP. That man was cooking 3 bags of rice per day in his house. And his salary per month, not able to afford that. So you may want to ask, how did it survive? If I reach there, let we take a break. We go come back.
Young Lee on the beats.
Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Here me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we the good things, them way sensible.
If you be the sleep, this not self for wake by you dream. Now face reality, because this year not to film. See one talk say I dirty, and you young dirty first for clean. You know want for work like a slave, but you want for it like a king. Eh, Salomon, so like ready made. How you go get work, but you no land trade. You no land book, you no get talent, and you need. But you want for sleep, now as a bed. You know they study, but you want pass. You dey get way when you come in a class. Open yes, and listen to me fast. You go feel like you dey see step my class.
Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Here me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we the do things, them way sensible.
And small thing happen so, una begin for point finger. You keep your young a box for the boss in young, you pull on a window. Then they begin blame Timini, then lock up begin blame Limba. Before black they blame then juice, well then juice bag go blame ginger. We can sabi for identify the problem, but we not can sabi find the solution. You wait fat to fat, now you back one gumble but he a pollution. As they give you money for shape, you go shape small. Now the rest you go pull some. Politician demo, citizen demo. We all now don't mix bad collusion.
Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Here me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we the good things, them way sensible. If you don't know how we come on, let me know how we they go. If you don't work for money, how you expect now for make it flow? If you know when they plant rest, how you want for make it go? If in the Bible tell you say, you go reap what you sow. All tell you what makes salon do for you, but say you don't do for salon. You dey throw it dirty in the street, na the country where you dey bluff say now you own. You still dey invest your money overseas, but you dey talk say no place like home. All man just care but in party, all man just care but his own. Salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? If salon for better, salon for crow, now who that responsible? Here me responsible, say, oh now you responsible. Everybody say, now we all responsible. Now we the do things, them way sensible.
How many of we as Sierra Leoneans go proud say we get national ID card? Instead all day, we first forget them card. We prefer for pay tax na other man country, but we kinda salon when we own. When they say pay tax, it increase space like who that big bang bar. Life for be an example. You want for talk about other person in you. Now we all responsible, yeah? Me, you, and Papa government. Innocent fella kuti, political and
What you are and do. Then give to the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you. Madeline Bridges. The old adage that he profits most who serves best is no mere altruism. Look around you. What businesses are going ahead? What men are making the big successes? Are they the ones who grab the passing dollar, careless of what they offer in return? Or are they those who are striving always to give a little greater value, a little more work than they are paid for? When scales are balanced evenly, a trifle of extra weight thrown into either side overbalances the other as effectively as a ton. In the same way, a little better value, a little extra effort, makes the man or the business stand out from the great mass of mediocrity like a tall man among pygmies, and brings results out of all proportion to the additional effort involved. It pays not merely altruistically, but in good, hard, round dollars to give a little more value than seems necessary, to work a bit harder than you are paid for. It's that extra ounce of value that counts. For the law of attraction is service. We receive in proportion as we give out. In fact, we usually receive in far greater proportion. Cast thy bread upon the waters, and it will return to you 100-fold.
The law of attraction is service. Cast thy bread into water, and it will return to you in 100 folds. We understand what that means? If we get the correct attitude, we go be with brothers keepers and with sisters keepers in Sierra Leone. If we get the correct attitude, we go be people of service to a nation. Not to people where they go hustle from a nation. This last clip we play, the title of the book na Secret of the Ages. One man we name Robert Collier, and I write this book. I get the book now. Also the video normal they show and they play for now. I get the book now, the book this. And I get several books them of wisdom. Some of we, after we come out university, we volunteer for learn more. I not go for PhD. I not want them. If I be want PhD, I don't get them because Norway, university na free. I know they pay nothing. No cost me nothing. I for go, then give me PhD. I pass and we give all have a PhD. But I could not have been able to produce anything. Instead, the opportunity for go for PhD, I use and say, learn this. Computer science. I am in my 60s. I go use this knowledge till I die. If I go Salona, they go sit down at my village Songo. I go dey plant cassava, then I dey do me computer work. All I need is a small computer, then I get connectivity. I no get no business for thief public money. If I even get a public job, because I have the capacity to support myself. A lot of us, we go and get PhDs, we make high noise about what we have. At the end of the day, we go and make nonsense of ourselves when we are given public duties. We are not of service. We become hustlers and thieves. And it's not a politics, not a party business. This is just because that is what Sierra Leone is. That is what all of us grew up to know. That is what has become the culture. That is what we believe in. And therefore, now the attitude we all get, that go make them. Yeah, they go make them to whose detriment? To your own detriment. Because at the end of the day, either you end up in a legal dragnet, say you don't thief money, or maybe the one that we feel say they're not gladdy where you want to get, then go jump right. If they're not harass you for the give them, we mean say you get for the thief more, then go come for you some other way, we always go make your life uncomfortable. What would they gain from that? The ego for say, now me get all man they come to me. Then, if that is what we believe in, if this ego we believe say correct, let me ask a simple question. Is God a partial God? God, now they decide say, boy, for guess where, Banabum for get blessing, or lamb boy for get blessing, him for go thief, let people and they go around them. Are we really thinking? Are we serious? The attitudes, I matter. Every country in the world we don't make progress. Now the attitude now carry them go forward. Not to almost minerals the country gets, they make the country develop. Not to almost university the country get where they make the country go forward. Not to almost holla, but education they make the country go forward. The attitude, the first thing we they do is they make we able understand, say, if now we 9 million then each of them 9 million people then get a right for access within me able access, whether they go university or not. Of course, we not go pay everybody the same. Everybody not go be the same in terms of wealth or assets. Then it depend on your effort. But let effort not be a criminal effort. Let effort not be one where they create problem for the one them will not sabi like you. When you do that, then you get attitude problem. And you get for look at yourself whether you civilize. You get for ask yourself about your level of civilization. Because civilization not to wealth, not to close. Now something when attitude and behavior issue. Attitude and behavior they go side by side, although they're different. But if you say civilized, that means you for able to live with other people, make sure say them get what them deserve. Then you tolerating them what you feel say not correct. Then say for able tolerating you what them feel say not correct. But if you not get all them thing and they like today. Every morning when you wake or late night where you want go sleep, you go see video clip or hear audio clip, what's in and they tell you about Sierra Leone. It's all disaster. Sierra Leone is still at war. War not a weapon, so at the state of mind now in a war. And what you make the war still less Sierra Leone? Now we attitudes. We inability for sit down, think as one, talk to ourselves, listen to ourselves, understand ourselves, accept say we all get the same identity and therefore we all get the same destiny. That is what is wrong in Sierra Leone. It's not politics. If politics was wrong, God not going to be so wicked with we 60 years. We they get all the same bad governance. Not a politics now problem. If politics was wrong, then we'll not be for even able to sit on us alone. Because even the war will fet, where you look not to politics. Now greed caused we war. Greed. A few people felt they had the right. So if they not get, then for cause trouble. And it's not an ethnic issue. Anybody not gets me wrong. It's not an ethnic issue either. So I not get ethnicity problem. The problem is we get attitude problem, and this is deep seated in we learn book. We feel say we don't go learn book, we don't get we certificate them, we not sabi do nothing. So for use all kinds of repetitious means, we for use all kind of hand game for make we get a comfortable life. Now this now we problem, and that is an attitude problem. It's time we begin to say it. It's time we begin to talk to each other. It's shameful. The countries them will not get mineral, then they go before. We get all the minerals. Until they go bigger, bigger. Till we don't go bigger, bigger to South Korea. They don't come build city all for we. South Korea not get nothing. 1961, then city have been slum. If you like Kurube. They like industrial power. And get the correct attitude. So then say, okay, ya don't poor, low make ya. They all come together, then work, then make. In the process, the one that will work harder, we get correct contacts and correct thinking, then turn billionaires. Nobody know them stop anybody for be billionaire. Everybody want for be a billionaire. But not be a billionaire, you create problem for people them. Be a billionaire, who say the other man self they able to live his own life. From 1961 to now, people then they working at the government service. Oh, look how much then they pay them. Why we not able to pay decent wage in Sierra Leone? Hold on, some people can say, the Europeans are responsible for the dish of Africa. The Europeans are responsible for the that of... We are the slave masters. If you employ your brother and sister, you're not able to pay a wage, let it take care of your own family. Now slavery you don't put under. And that is an attitudinal problem. We get the attitude of boss. We get the attitude of controlling other people. Yes, we need for control, but let it be for the sake of a job. Or not create a condition where they dehumanize the company mortal man for control. That's an attitude problem. It's a sickening problem. Then we always they go, they try for talk and defend with problems. It's time we begin to say it as it is. It's time we begin to call it out. It's time we begin to ask, what can we do to make it different? The answers are there. Some of us have spent time and our resources to research. We may be able to give some of the answers. I know they say, let person go give me, I know nobody in job. I want to begin to think straight. We'll begin think straight and think as one. Some of us will voluntarily give answers. I have done that before for Sierra Leone. I did it before in 1991. I came up with an idea that was taken to the government of President Joseph Saidu Momo. It was converted into a national institution, what today then they call NASIT. I took my time and used my resources. I go all over the schools in the western area and even up to northern province at that time, explaining to teachers about a welfare social security fund. Everybody where I been explained to when they understand and say, hey, this thing go work, I say go work. See there? And they call NASIT. I not do am for make I go be managing director on NASIT or for make I go make personal money. Okay? Something may happen behind that. People then think, so you forget this man out of the way, they'll benefit from that. No, I don't mind. I've forgiven them. They had attitude problem. I've forgiven them. I am a man of resources. I make my way when I want to. And I have some of the answers for Sierra Leone. But before I go begin volunteer the answers, I think we need for begin talk to ourselves. We need for put down that ego. We need for begin understand ourselves. We need for understand say everybody get equal rights in Sierra Leone. And we need for things say, let make them let everybody enjoy the benefits of this place. If we do that, in the next 15 to 20 years, Sierra Leone will be a place to say unemployment no day. It will be a place to say people in the come other country for go find job like how they on our way they now can Europe for can find the better way most of we can now able get. And look at Sierra Leone now. Look at the country as it is. For prove me point say now we attitude now problem. Look at the country as it is. Anybody want to Sierra Leonean, we go Sierra Leone today. Give them 6 months, give them 1 year, give them 5 years maximum. In life done different, they able to live a comfortable life. But we're not the bona fide the people of the country. We will say Sabano. We will say Nyableble Sia. We think really with the benefit from a country. What is wrong with us? Why is it so for us? Man, as James Allen say, is mind. That means man na a thinking animal, na the energy of thoughts. And his environment manifests his thoughts. So if Salon turns so today, let not blame God, let not blame this, let not blame that. Let ask ourselves individually, what is it that I'm not doing correct that is responsible for what is going wrong in Sierra Leone? Okay, you say, we dey vote people them, let them go be the workers for make we country. Fine. Julius Madabio is at State House. But he cannot do everything. He cannot go as far as Gbapo Levuma or Pitfu or Doching Kamandao to go and do what has to be done in those places. All of us have to take responsibility. But why is that not happening? We come back to one thing, the attitude. What thing they don't teach we, what you don't believe, and the attitudes where they produce, then they make we not able to do what thing for do. No government not ever sit on a salon we get massive participation because we not get the correct attitude. When I say massive participation, mean say for wear green or wear red or wear rainbow color, they go ala say me na APC, SLPP, me na NGC. That's not participation. That's just support. Anybody can be a member of any club. They talk to now. I come out from a home where most of them na be SLPP. At some point, I decided to be a PC. Yes, I'm a liking. It's my democratic right. It's my human right. But I'm not a violent person. I'm not a thief. Now I know they go actively into politics. I don't believe in that kind of politics. I believe in the politics Usaya they sit down at the same table with SLPP, NGC, we sit down, we keep company. The last time I go freedom, I go to one place. I meet some of my friends, then we sit down, they drink. Somebody can whisper and we say, everywhere and they talk to SLPP. I say yes, and so what? They are my brothers, they are my friends. What is wrong with that? In Norway, I sit down and drink coffee and we eat and chat with members from all political parties. Why can't we do that in Sierra Leone? What's in the reason we make politics for be the platform for enmity? What's in the reason we make politics for be the platform for hate? It's our attitude. It's just because we have the wrong attitudes. Nothing other than that. If we get the correct attitude, I think say what you for the look at now, because the way the country they any political party who sit on a power, the other one them, either they sabotage them or they not go cooperate with them all the way. So the best way we can do right now for begin look at the dynamics, how we go get for come together and form a system whereby no single party no they control the country. When election come, the party who win go get the head of state or whatever, then we say, okay, you forgive post to other people from other parties. But again, if we do that, will that help us? Do we have the attitude? This is what happens in Scandinavia. And it happens Sweden, and it happens Denmark, and it happens Norway, even Germany, even Israel. Now governments of coalition, then they get. The party will get the majority, and they produce the head. The other one then, where they cooperate with that party, then they give them seats, then they give them offices. Then, above all, for make the distribution of wealth efficient, then countries where you see how they talk about so, then get a decentralized system. They not concentrate the power in a state house or freedom. Norway, then get 3 levels of decentralization. Then get municipality, where equal to with districts. Then they get provincial governors and provincial parliament or council. Then they get national government. And it work for them because the distribution of wealth is such that USA so they talk to now, then they plan their own projects, then present them to the provincial government. The provincial government look them, they investigate, then justify them, then carry and go to the national government. The national government discuss them, then call Uda, then get for call, then go defend them, then say, okay, we'll go provide una the money. Then provide the money. But not to then they go give contract. They know they can give contracts in Alva Communal. The central government not employ nobody who they work in Alva Communal. Alva municipality. And the people in there, they employ the young people. They only tell the central government want know. And that's not the responsibility of the provincial government, then for supervise and make sure say every penny that was given is used for the project. Whatever they are above that, not them business, because it's human. Everywhere in the world, they do these games. A project will cost 100 million, then go charge 120, 110. So that 10 or 20 were there above. When they don't do the project, the people that were involved, politicians, this and all, man get in quietly. They don't show off with it. Begin billows, begin buy expensive car. They pass and say, God, and put me there. Which God that where they put you for go and lucky yourself and you people them? Go for try. Go for try, oh, go for try. If we not try, hey, as I they talk, Sierra Leone is quietly being taken over by foreigners. As I talk, Sierra Leone is quietly being taken over by foreigners. And then they control the economy. Then they control most of the basic things that they need for use. Even though we airport, our foreigners, they search with it. Our foreigners, they make sure say security there. What are we doing? Athens of West Africa, what are we doing? Nothing, because we get the wrong attitudes. Nothing. We cannot do anything because we get the wrong attitudes. If you ask me, instead of we they talk about anti-corruption commission, instead of we they talk about peace commission, I think this is the right time where we need for sit down and say, let we get an institution where go research and find out what in they divide we and make recommendations as to how we unite ourselves. Whatever name we call them may not matter. But we need that right now. Because without that in unity, without that common identity and understanding that we all have a common origin, the beat will go on, and it's going to be to the disadvantage of the Sierra Leonean. It will always be as it is now. I will take a second break. I will come back.
I got Lee on the beat.
Sierra Leone is a country on the southwest coast of West Africa. Its neighbors are Liberia to the southeast and Guinea to the northeast. Sierra Leone has a total area of 71,740 square kilometers and a population of over 7.1 million inhabitants as of 2021. The capital and largest city is Freetown. The country is divided into 5 administrative regions which are subdivided into 16 districts. Sierra Leone is a Muslim-majority country, at approximately 78%, though with an influential Christian minority, at about 21%. Muslims and Christians interact very well in the country and religious violence is extremely rare. Sierra Leone takes its name from the Lion Mountains near Freetown. Archaeological finds show that Sierra Leone has been inhabited continuously for at least 2,500 years, populated successively by societies who migrated from other parts of Africa. The country achieved independence from the United Kingdom on April 27, 1961, and Milton Margai became the country's first prime minister. The population of Sierra Leone in the 1800s was unique and composed of displaced Africans who were brought to the colony after the British abolition of the slave trade in 1807. Today, about 2% of the country's population are Creole, descendants of freed African American and West Indian slaves. As of 2021, Sierra Leone has an estimated population of over 7.1 million and a growth rate of 3% each year. The country's population is mostly young, with an estimated 41.7% under 15. 16 ethnic groups inhabit Sierra Leone, the 2 largest and most influential being the Temne and Men people. English is the official language of Sierra Leone, however, Creole is the most widely spoken language in virtually all parts of the country. Spoken by over 90% of the country's population, Creole unites all the different ethnic groups in Sierra Leone, especially in their trade and interaction with each other. Sierra Leone is regarded as one of the most religiously tolerant countries in the world. Muslims and Christians collaborate and interact with each other peacefully, and religious violence is very rare in the country. The country is home to the Sierra Leone Interreligious Council, which is made up of both Christian and Muslim religious leaders to promote peace and tolerance throughout the country. Sierra Leone is a Muslim-majority country, however, All of its heads of states have been Christians, except Ahmad Tejan Kabbah, who was a Muslim. The Republic of Sierra Leone is composed of 4 regions: the Northern Province, Southern Province, the Eastern Province, and the Western Area. Some of Sierra Leone's largest and most populated cities include Freetown, Kanema, and Bo. Freetown is the capital and largest city of Sierra Leone. It is a major port city on the Atlantic Ocean and is located in the western area of the country. Bo, also commonly referred to as Bo Town, is the second largest city in Sierra Leone after Freetown, and is the largest city in the southern province. Bo is the capital and administrative center of the Bo district. While Kanema is the third largest city in Sierra Leone, and is the largest city in the country's eastern province. Sierra Leone is very rich in natural resources, especially diamond, gold, bauxite, and aluminum. However, the country's economy is one of the least developed, with a gross domestic product of approximately $3.2 billion, one of the lowest on the continent. Sierra Leone's economic development has always been hampered by an overdependence on mineral exploitation. As a result, the agricultural, industrial, and financial sectors have been neglected by the government.
Okay. Sierra Leone get over dependence on minerals. Sierra Leone economic development been no hamper. That's what the man say. Well, he is a foreigner. He does not understand Sierra Leone. But most of what he's saying is correct. But I know, as a Sierra Leonean, and especially somebody who served that country from 1979 up to 1998, I know that our development is not hampered. It is us who have hampered ourselves. We, the people, them now, we don't hamper ourselves. What in do? We get the wrong beliefs. We they see things the wrong way. So therefore, we get the wrong attitude towards ourselves and towards each other. But the solution then they. The solution then they. And the solution, it begin from one thing. And that thing there, the attitude in the country don't make that thing there, don't look as a place of molestation. Me, I've been teaching in Sierra Leone from 1979 to 1992. I know what they are suffer. I know the molestations they were suffer. I know some of the comments them where they picking them will be the try for give knowledge, be they make, because some of them come out from homes where get everything. Teacher they work out with Ben Sus. Teacher they go work, eat fever like they for don't die any moment. The most important thing, education, we not they treat them serious. And the one thing we get for make we country change. But because we get wrong beliefs about education, we get the wrong understanding about education, we get the wrong attitude towards education. Number one, from my research, I find out say sometime around 1930s, the British been really try for introduce technical education at Sierra Leone. But people then kick against that. The Bow School, the original intention for the Bow School, now for make it be a technical and agricultural institute for trained people them. People then kick against that. Because we believe say when man wear necktie go sit down in office now in a better person. That how they work in a farm, not a better person. That mechanic, not to better person. That carpenter, not to better person. That same attitude that I make today, we even them people and they, if they even don't get the qualification, we will employ them for do job, we want for pay them slave labor wage. Able not charge me so. After us now for just can make this bench. You know the man is skill. Now he been learning for him. In Norway, a carpenter earns $10,000 a month. A carpenter who don't work 5, 10 years. He earn $10,000. And it depends on who they work for. If they work for big institutions like IKEA, where they make furniture all over Europe, that man may be earning something between 20 and 25, 30,000 a month after tax. But in Africa, who feels a carpenter, we can work for you, now for your gear 1,000. I will go manage this. Now this you meet. With attitude. I am a proud Regentonian. But one thing, we have not been lucky to have been a good school, was there was this discrimination about people in background. And today we get them. The whole Sierra Leone, not to grammar school no more, the whole Sierra Leone. This is not go better school. That school within a Cambia, not a better school. That school within a Bombo, not a better school. But we've had people coming from schools that were never considered who are today in very high offices in Sierra Leone. I know them. I'll give you an example. Tomlinson High School, Songo. They don't produce some of the best people them. I know them. Yonibana Secondary don't produce some of the best people them. School Najimi Bagbo don't produce some of the best people them. Mambolo don't produce some of the best people them. Who I say best in terms of what we feel saying are the best. But honestly, the attitude of beginning to think about good school, bad school. One of the things they hold the whole way back. Because all the schools they will consider good and bad, they honestly know they work in the interest of development. We get an elitist system where they produce people them for go be administrators. We need for look at the type of education. And this attitude of somebody not sabi talk English, you know, go better school. Is English our language? Now ma not sabi talk English. Is sabi talking language we born. Some of we say una fula, we na mende, we na chimney, we na limba. We not sabi talk with language them. We dey talk a foreign language. Then we get the audacity for tell with people and say they're not illiterate. Them or we who are not illiterate. You don't know your language. And because you don't know your language, you may not even know most of what is your culture. So you are the illiterate, not the people you are referring to. As a small boy in Asongo, I remember my grandpa, my mama and papa were getting him boy Jalo. The only one way go to school we get that name. He been get bush radio. He put her near the window at the veranda because all them part them around when I've been farmers and waiting, even then they can't sit down at the veranda for listen BBC. That time, that bush radio pass you get long cable. We they claim the mango tick, we put bamboo tick. For make we able get waves properly for catch the station. Empire they listen BBC. They no one they go school. After the news, then they sit down and discuss what in the hearing. Who taught them English? Nobody. But they understood because they felt the need to understand the language. When I've been in a good school, I not take French serious. When I run from Sierra Leone, I can't sit down Conakry 5 years. I was forced to learn in French. Maintenant, je parle français très bien. Je débrouille la langue là. So, for say, because somebody not sabi talk a language in a illiterate, ask yourself, are you really serious? English is not education. English is just a language. We can as well use Creole, Mende, and Timni to teach. I can teach Pythagoras in Creole. I can manage them in Timni. Because if I've got Timni, maybe Mende, I can't because I understand Mende, but I don't speak it well. And I think if we begin look at education, what we use with native language for teach at certain level, we go make the pikin they understand the concepts them well. When they go to a senior higher level, we don't teach the English as a second language or as a language like any subject. Then go don't get command of the concepts in English. Then go able to use English now for learn at a higher level. We know they do this because we get the wrong attitude. We believe, say, once you go school, they talk English, now in education. The Chinese then they teach in Mandarin. Right now they talk. We don't open a department of Chinese or Mandarin at Fobe College. But we never open department for Loko or Fulani or Creole or Temene or Mende. It's all because of attitude. It's all because of attitude. Class struggle in Africa, as my friend George Walker say, me lay a street, how you call the other streets for them in the party. He say class struggle. No, it's not class struggle, George. Honestly, let's stop blaming the West. Yes, they have done a lot of things, we know. And they still want to control certain areas, yes, we know. But they are not stopping us from developing. If the West been for stop people and then for stop India, they never stopped India. After India get independence, by 1961, they revised the educational system. They know the value of education, they revise them. Then come with a national apprenticeship law. The Indian National Apprenticeship Law of 1961. They say let everybody learn trade. Then they say, okay, let's begin teach at certain level now with local languages. Then they use Hindi, then they use Urdu. Today, as I talk, they teach computer programming languages in their languages. And India gets the greatest number of computer programmers, with some of them now even board members and directors in some of the biggest information technology companies like Microsoft and others. Who stopped them? India gets a lot of class and get more class structure than we. But who stopped India? Poverty in India still, yes, because of overpopulation. But they are making progress. The Malaysians, themselves get in classes, but then they teach in Malay. They make progress. East Africa don't adopt Swahili for teach. We see the progress where they go on at them parts. We in West Africa, we sit down, they make European. Then we work for we blame Europe. We blame this. We blame that. Hey, in life, there is no blame for anybody except yourself. Blame yourself. Whatever is wrong with Boijal or Jamboria, Boy has to blame himself. He has to tell himself, you jackass, you are not doing it right. Think and do it right. That's the attitude we need in Sierra Leone. Tell yourself. Do it for yourself. Think for yourself. There is no limit in the human capacity. God is not unfair. God give everybody equal talent. God give everybody equal chance for develop. But if we not get the correct attitude, we either not go use with talent or somebody else we no say this person get this talent, he go try for stop we. Especially in a place where the attitude of greed and ego boku. And that is Sierra Leone. Sierra Leoneans create problems for themselves. In Sierra Leone, if they say you they shine too much, then she say they like why they talk so if na Sierra Leone have been this until even tell that they can't harass me. But you don't let pay can Norway. When you reach na airport, then go arrest you. Honestly. This is what we are. This is our problem. And we get for face them. We not get for cost we self. We not get for fight over this. We get for face and say, now this now problem. We get for sit down and talk to ourselves. Say, but yeah, this thing, the way we do and say, not correct. Let we change now. Let we listen to ourselves. Let we coax ourselves. Let we respect ourselves. Especially women and children. Why I say especially women and children? Part of the problem is they come out from the harass or they harass women and children. Anybody will do a little bit of psychology. If you listen to the Sierra Leonean talk, the first thing where they show out is the Sierra Leonean a highly traumatized person. Why we get trauma? Two things. One, because the home settings, they traumatize the mommy them, that they transfer to the picking them. Two, the home setting, they traumatize the picking them. So it limits their self-confidence and their capacity even for think and talk straight. And some of we, with the grow into adults, we take that trauma into our adult life. Some of these people, when they go into politics, they become very dangerous people because they are traumatized. So we get for sit down, let we research, let we examine and ask, what do we go do for make this thing better for we all? And as I begin say, if I begin with education, we get for change our attitude and beliefs towards education. We get for make education more open for everybody for access. And we get for put money into education for make sure say we provide the equipment and the train teaching staff. Not to everybody not teacher. Everybody also be talk English for go team up before blackboard they write to. As a matter of fact, right now, if we dey talk about teachers in the areas of technical education, I not think say we'll get teachers then for that. If we get self, they're not better. So that's a whole area for train people. Secondly, we get for make sure say we get sustainability in education in the sense that we forget a way for fund that education because education are a long process, minimum 16 years before somebody they left for land. Within that period, the person for go school, if na carpentry they learn, they get the materials for learn the practical side. Not to for go write notes on a blackboard and go grammar. If na auto mechanics they learn, if forget the equipment for do the practical side. So for SIDOM, low calculate almost it go cost we every year. Then we look at how we go get this money. Instead of we dey go and make politics. Every government don't talk politics, we they provide quality education. Not all this government no more. I have been in the teaching profession since 1979. There was a time and come with remote area allowance, say, then they encourage teachers and for go teach in a rural area. That was the time where somebody been there behind me, let me move, go teach na Songo, na Tomlinson High School. I will get the potential for the principal. Now say the principal were there. You know they doing job? I say no, you know they mix pan and game day. If the woman they doing job, let her be. Well, then anyway, then fetch and then pull and they from where they pull that woman at that school, the school calm down. Why is it there? There was a year then get the best result in the country. I been a go there. At that time, minus teaching, I been get other business what they do. I been they sell books them where somebody been they send from Nigeria through one my friend, lawyer Barry, Umar Barry. We been they sell the books them. I been they go left the books them. I go collect the money later. So I know all of this now just example of the give now of my experiences with how attitudes they destroy a country. And how attitudes don't destroy education. 1984, I moved to Lungi to teach because I've been the expect for get a job at the airport on the Sierra Leone Airlines. The school where I've been they teach. Month done with they go sign voucher, they see 75 names. But I calculate now 25 teachers there. And they asked him, I said, but paddy, I got all the name here. Oh, that was a no-go area. Next day, he went to town and I received a letter informing me about my termination. Salon. Now all man they talk. All man they talk. But honestly, I don't know the problem, na Salon. The problem not a politics, na attitude. That letter was sent by a civil servant. Even though later he became minister in Sierra Leone, but at that time he was a civil servant, instructing my termination. How do you call that? That's attitudinal. To make a Sierra Leonean sitting in a public office connive with a foreigner, a Pakistani, for defraud the nation. When I ask a question, then terminate me for that. How do you call that? It's attitudinal. And 30 days then things say they be in a salon. 30 days as they talk. And I tell you, I say, we remove this government, we bring another party, come, I like not to APC or SLPP, let's say NGC. If we are not careful, the same things will continue or worse. Because the mental infrastructure, the attitudes are not different from what is happening now. So instead of wasting time, instead of wasting lives of the young people, killing them anytime we're in power, why can't we sit together and ask, what do we do to make us all unite? What do we do to make everybody earn a decent living so that nobody no go they come burden we, me mama sick, me papa sick, that fall don't sick, that cockroach don't sick. Why can't we think that way? It's because we have the wrong attitudes. Let's stop blaming. Let's look at ourselves. All of us, each, let us ask, what is it that I should do? And it should involve me, everybody in the diaspora, the man at State House, every one of his operatives. Let us ask, what can we do to change this attitude? What can we do to live together? Because, as I said the last time, from a research what they do, I don't begin to find out, say, what is some of who they claim for be not to show it be you. You know, means your man they talk mende in a mende. Oh man they talk timini in a timini. Maybe them born you in an area when are the language then they talk. Like me picking was born in Norway. They talk Norwegian. They talk am better than me because now I born. You know, they talk her with an accent. But I make sure say I teach am Creole. And I make sure say right now they learn Timini, small because now in my mind language. In my man from Magoka. Because I don't want to put him in a situation tomorrow he go claim say in a this when in fact in DNA get different roots. Bangura, Koroma, Conte, Kamara, all over Sierra Leone. But because some of we they talk Mende, some they talk Timini, we feel say we not different people. Tell me, what's in different with the name Kamara or Koroma, where they talk Mende and how they talk Timini? What's in different with Bangura na Pujaun, with the one with the Dakagbe na Kambia? Those are the same people there. It's the same. If we go into the history of Africa, surnames have been the way for indicate we origins, the clan we belong to. And it's the same thing that applies in Scandinavia. The people then surnames, now the place suicide and come out. We not a place no more. We get other meaning attached to surname. But here, you go hear somebody named Flatoy. Now the area where come out. You there is somebody named Hogeland. Now the area, now they take a surname. We self get that in Africa. We get them. And natural sister will get them. But because we get the wrong attitudes, now, because some of we don't mix. Long, according to this man in video and research, Sierra Leone get a history of over 2,000 years. We don't live together for 2,000 years. What in camp well we now where some of the people then go involved for the catch them come in Salomon and go sell a slave. Now bring that mistrust when I divide 30 de ambokwe. But it's time we begin to go back and say, okay, let bygones be bygones. Let us sit together and talk to each other. Let us find a way to live together. That way be say me now old pan now. If I be young, if I go salo, I want to man, I know they asking in tribe where come from. And if that woman me ain't get picking, tell me, I will call that picking. Na mende, if na mende woman, or na fula man because me na fula man. No, they're Sierra Leonean. We get for change. We get for change. But the change begins with each of us. Let us look at the man in the mirror, as Michael Jackson said by his song. If we want to change, let's change the man in the mirror. Let's change the man in the mirror. Let's change the man inside we had. Where now the way we would think. Let's change the way we would talk to each other, the way we would look at each other. Let's stop this issue of enemy. Who is the enemy? It's yourself. It's yourself. We small, we dey see people them na salon. The minute they get job, then they go spend money. They go to Moriman, go look grown, go this, go that. Hey, then they fetch me now, me workplace. How you they fetch yourself? Because it's the way you think. How you they fetch yourself? And if somebody not like you now the workplace, they fetch you. Now because we all they think that way. The minute somebody rise into prominence, we're ready for pull and down. That's attitudinal. When an escom have been sit on apart and cost all kind cost. They like to then they cost mother bill. Well, how do we call that? It's attitudinal. I'm not saying these guys are doing it right. Oh. I know they can be lawyer for nobody. Oh. But I they say, if we get the correct attitude, maybe we'll find a way to make our leaders more responsive and more responsible. But because we don't have the correct attitude, one kabudu the cause, the other hand the effect. We then talk about mother bill, other hand and they can on social media, they can cause. Even one day, we're in your office, they respect I, they can cause. Hey, bo, I transfer for we. This is shameful, oh. If una feel say what man no they read, then they read. Then they understand. Even this Creole they talk so then they understand. They know what they talk. I never ever can begin course. Are they above that? I will never insult a Sierra Leonean because I consider every Sierra Leonean a brother and sister. Why is it that all time now we then have social media, I have not a WhatsApp, na Facebook, na Twitter, na for course. Then when you get small power, na for go and bully the one they under you. How do you call that? That's attitudinal. It's an attitudinal issue. Being the boss does not mean you have to bully and use impunity. It means you have to guide and supervise. Yes, human beings are human beings. Everybody can say what you want. If you feel certain the person not say correct, use the procedure. Query them. Write a memorandum to her and say, "Bo, this way you do so, it is against the dictates of the job, according to section this of the ordinance or whatever una call the law." Query them. When you query the person 110, 210, and not stop, then you get the legal right for instruct a suspension of the person. But again, if we say they follow them procedures, they most times they work. Why? Because a lot of people get jobs from the back door. Political influence or any kind of influence, you get a job. So they respect him, boss. We query, I say, but come out now. Now you for tell me I'm not answerable to you. How do you call that? That's attitudinal problem. It's not the law. We have all the right laws in Sierra Leone. We have some of the best laws in the world. But because we have wrong attitudes, we have wrong beliefs, that's why we are doing everything wrongly. Maybe people if I reach the lab, I get for talk, I get for continue for the talk, and that's why I get for the talk. Who don't want it gladdy? Who don't want it vex? I don't care. My obligation is to God and the country, not anybody, not even a political party. It's for God and nation that I'm doing this. have no intention of going to stand for any public office in Sierra Leone. I have no intention of seeking any job. In fact, I'm over the age. I'm 66. I'm not going to waste my time again for go find job to nobody. If I go salon now, I want to go sit down on my corner. I do my small business. If na 10,000 leons I dey get for day, once I able eat am with colat and safety, I go glad for the day. And I no wan go outside dey go make myself prisoner. When net come, pass a batting wall gate, a batting the motor gate force with metal. I use the wood gate, then I put another metal. My window they all get metal. If I have been a net while I sleep, I go able to escape. I go able to escape. Who's this? Who's they talk to them as well? Now 4 town lot house. One fence not there. And I have 2 neighbors. We not ever get problem. Because they live in the countryside. We not ever get problem. As a matter of fact, this house, they get water supply from one of the neighbors because the area where they now well we get sealed, safe well, we get a pumping machine. Every year we have an agreement. Every year we contribute to take care of the well. Then they come and clean them and do everything. The municipality, they do them. We toilet them, a central system. Municipality, they take care. We pay a fee for that. We pay a fee for everything we do now. You are no free no day. Now the balance becoming a governor or this or that are not for pay. Now the people are not treat for pay. Give man free top up, then you go charge the people and not treat. Then you take the top up, you dey use them. Yeah, this is a blessing, a sweet of office. God help una. Wrong attitudes. Lot appear today. If I'm with them. We will see next week, Saturday. They all man sit down. Saful. This salon go change by God in power. Salon go change. And it go change before some of you die left this world. Go change. We go build the foundation. The foundation, yeah. The mental infrastructure. Now for build foundation for. When we do that, by God in power, picking them, then go can enjoy. Then we go they on our grave with colat say, a glad you are passia. If I reach there, I the left on a force. We'll talk next week, Saturday. Natata.